Hello folks, it's Clinton Moss here with Gunner Energy Services, and I'm going to bring you an exciting episode today. This is part of the Pulling Back the Curtain series, and today we're going to be concentrating on well control, and in particular, my favorite subject, relief well drilling, and more importantly, relief well ranging. So what are we going to cover today? It's no access relief well ranging, and in particular, it's going to be kind of the quintessential no access ranging tool. The open hole deployed wireline ranging tool. So let's go through that system, shall we, together. Okay, first of all, it's a 7-conductor system deployed in open hole. Okay, so you actually deploy it on a 7-conductor wireline. It's a wireline tool. Now, as you can see pictured, we have the rig. I haven't shown the hole, but we have the target well next to us, and obviously we don't have any access on surface. We can't put anything in that wellbore. So generally speaking, when we want to determine a ranging measurement or determine that relative downhole distance and direction, we're going to withdraw the drill string out of the hole and through the floor of the drilling well, deploy that system on a 7-conductor wireline. Okay, so how can we deploy the system? Well, it's preferred in open hole, and there's some physics of the measurement, which I'll talk about in just a few seconds. But what if you have a tough logging condition or a highly inclined wellbore? Well, one of the other ways we can do that is actually go in with open-ended drill pipe and pump the tool through the drill pipe, okay? And it would actually exit outside the drill pipe through a God shoe, and we perform our measurement that way. Now, recently, there's even been some advancements where we can tractor the tool into place. So imagine that, tractoring the tool in open hole and then taking the measurements once we get adjacent to the other well near bottom. Okay, there's generally 3 parts of the system. Okay, and let's start from bottom hole and work our way up. So on the bottom here, you see the sensor, and you can have, gyroscopic measurements, earth field measurements, including gravity vector and magnetic field. And of course, we're going to have the magnetic field that we generate from creating the signal. Okay, and how do we create that signal? Well, that's the second part of the system. Okay, that's the electrode. So we're going to inject current. It's going to come down 5 of the 7 conductors, generally speaking, inject into formation, and some of it will find its way to this adjacent pipe. Okay, so how does that happen? Well, you can think about it a couple ways. It's like water taking the path of least resistance. Some people like to think about it that way. So the electrons will find their way to the pipe, and they're trying to get back up here to the power supply that's grounded out to the rig generally. Okay, it's kind of like, remember that Happy Gilmore movie? It just wants to go to your home.
Just go home! That's your home! Are you too good for your home?
The electron comes here, and it wants to get back up to its home, the grounding point of the power supply, and it finds this pipe. Now, remember, any current on a conductor will have associated with it a magnetic field, and that's Ampere's law. If current flows on this long wellbore, I can just point my thumb in the direction of current flow, wrap my fingers around, and this is the magnetic field that the instrument will detect. I mean, isn't it amazing? It's that magnetic field that gives us that bearing, that distance and direction to the target well, and allows us to home in, okay? And with those results, we can replan the well. So you would withdraw the tool out of the open hole, trip back in the BHA, drill towards the target, and iterate. And it's this iterative process that we use to gradually approach and home in on the target well. Okay, folks, I can't cover all this in one episode. We'll break down each one of these parts, and I'll actually show you some components. You can understand how it looks. We'll talk about some case studies. But right now, I just wanted to introduce this bread and butter technique, if you will. Folks, I really appreciate all your comments. I appreciate you tuning in. And if you have any suggestions for me, any case studies, reach out, phone, email, ask me on LinkedIn. It's Clinton Moss with Gunner Energy. You guys have a great night.